Hi there guys, just a very quick unboxing for you today. So I'm a big fan of Nightvault, and I've just got their brand new expansions that came out yesterday, which are Mollogs Mob and Godsworn Hunt. And I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys what we've got in there. So we'll start with Mollogs Mob. And typical of Games Workshop's smaller box stuff, we've got a coloured sprue. So this is nice sort of sickly purple colour. So Mollog is a large model, and he's got a couple of small ones to go with him. So let's have a little look to see what we've got in the box. So obviously our guide to putting Mollogs Mob together. We have got 2 decks with this. Let's have a quick look at them. So let's open all this up. So if you want to see what sort of abilities we get. So I've got the 2 decks. These are generally abilities and upgrades and all that kind of stuff. Well, you guys will probably know what they are, but let's have a look at some of these objectives. Right, so this one, score at an end phase if your warband took 3 or 4 more enemy fighters out of action in the preceding action phase. So yeah, this is all kind of straightforward. And then we have here's our guys. Brutal Savagery. The first attack action made by a friendly dice and the next activation has +1 dice. So these are good. Most of them. So we've got like a little mushroom symbol here, which is no doubt an ability that is for Mollogs Mob. Maybe the Godsworn Hunt. I'm not sure. Probably not. But yes, so for these kind of upgrades and that kind of thing, you've got a large amount that carry that. We have lots and lots of new cards for our other decks as well, which is good, and obviously they can get mixed into here as well. But very good, very good. I like it. So that's Mollogs Mob. Let's see what else we've got in here. So we've got one card that tells us all about it. The dank-hole Troggoth, known as Mollog the Mighty, slept in his mushroom-littered cavern beneath the dunes of the Desert of Bones for centuries, emerging every so often to rampage in search of food. It was a comfortable life until the infestation of Skaven spilled up from the deep earth. After he had finished picking his teeth clean of scraps of flesh and fur, the Troggoth realised his home was lost to the endless tide of vermin. Followed by a mob of bizarre denizens that had dwelt in his cave, Mollog set off to find a new one. The Troggoth travelled far across the bone-strewn wastes, eventually coming to the ruins of Shadespire. Underground he went, certain that somewhere in this gloomy place lay the dank, quiet cavern he was looking for. Instead, Mollog found the labyrinth of the mirrored city. Still, he pressed on stubbornly with his search, a trail of crushed and battered bodies left in his wake. So, with Mollog, we've got a bat squig who has a lot of movement, good dodge. He actually rolls 2 dice for dodge, but he's only got 2 wounds. He doesn't deal much damage really, but he does roll 2 damage dice as well. And so when he is when he's inspired, he actually rolls 3 dodge dice, moves up to 5, and he does 2 damage. So that's good. We'll look at Mollog the Mighty last because he's awesome. Okay, so Spite Shroom moves 2, dodge 1. He's got 2 wounds. He's got a range of 1, as did the bat squig. He rolls 2 swords and does 1 damage. And when he's inspired, again, he goes up to 2 dodge, and he does 2 damage as well. That's good. Stellar squig, range of 1, does hammers and does 1 damage. Oh, he actually doesn't have any movement. That's weird. He rolls two shields and he got 2 damage. And when he's inspired, he rolls 2 hammers and does 2 damage. So that's good. Right, now Mollog the Mighty. So, wow, we've got he takes 7 wounds. He does 3 damage and rolls 2 hammers with a knockback of 1. That's when he's using his makeshift club. And that actually has a range of 2. And he's got a whirling club as well, which does 2 damage with 2 swords. Okay, and when he's inspired, his damage goes up to 4 on the makeshift club. And he rolls 3 looking for swords with the whirling club. But his armour and his movement remains the same. Okay, so that's good. So that's Mollogs Mob. That looks really interesting, actually. I'm looking forward to playing that. I might actually... So I play Shadespire with a good friend of mine. We play pretty much every week. So if anyone's interested in, watching some playthroughs of that, let me know. And maybe we'll record something next week. But that's good. I like that. Very nice. Okay, let's move on to Godsworn Hunt. So we've got 6 miniatures. Wow, it's a crazy looking dog. So Godsworn Hunt, we get a couple of sprues. This is kind of like the colour of this is like it's like Morning Fang brown. But yeah, that looks good. Let's put our guys together. Right, let's see. Do you know what? The Games Workshop have absolutely upped their game in terms of the poses of miniatures nowadays. It's get some really awesome stuff nowadays. So here are Arcane Recall, Arcane Transposition. So these are spells that we've got in here. So this is the deck that isn't specifically for this warband. But yeah, very good. Let's have a look at some of these. Aggressive Commander. Score this in the 3rd end phase if you took the first activation in each round. Right, score this in end phase if 3 or more enemy fighters taken out in the act, blah 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 blah. We know that one. Hoarder. Score this in the 3rd end phase if you have at least 9 unspent glory points. Wow, 9 unspent. That's pretty crazy. But you do get 3 glory points for it. Score this in an end phase if a single surviving friendly fighter was the target of at least 3 attack actions. Right, okay, cool. So that's good. Let's have a look. Right, that's our guys. So I won't spoil any of these cards for anyone. Well, let's have a quick look at one of these. Score this immediately if a friendly fighter takes an enemy fighter with wounds characteristics of 4 or more out of action in an attack action. Alright, I won't go through those, but I will go through the Godsworn Hunt, their details on here. Thedra Skullscryer, a war shaman of the tribe of the Black Fang, leads a Godsworn Hunt into the depths of the Mirrored City, seeking worthy sacrifices to pledge to the Chaos Pantheon. Each of her warriors has sworn the blood oath, the Pact of Soul and Iron. They shall not leave the haunted halls of Shadespire without each claiming the life of a lightning warrior. The upstart God King, so-called Stormcast Eternals. Guided by searing visions of conquest and glory, Skullscryer navigates the twisting depths of Shadespire in pursuit of her quarry. She leads the greatest champions among the tribe of hardened killers, each a merciless and resourceful hunter who has earned their name through many bloody and glorious deeds, their bodies bedecked with trophies and oath stones. The warriors of the Godsworn hunt fear nothing, for they have stared into the dark heart of chaos itself. Wow. Cool. Okay, so Grawl is our... he actually looks a lot like a dog on there, but he actually, on this card, looks more like a bear. Weird. Okay, so he has a movement of 4, dodge 1, he rolls 1 for dodges, and he's got 2 wounds, and he rolls 2 swords, dealing 1 damage. If you apply an upgrade to this guy, his movement changes to 5, and he rolls 2 dodges. And he rolls 3 swords, so that's good. Right, Grundon Blood Eye. 4 move, 1 dodge, 3 wounds. Range of 1, looking for 2 hammers, and does 2 damage. And when you apply an upgrade to him, he inspires and does 3 damage, and his movement is increased to 5. So Jagathra, movement of 4, 1 dodge, 2 wounds. She has 2 weapons. She has a javelin, which has a range of 3, rolling 3 swords, dealing 1 damage. And she's got a Dakroth knife, which has 1 range, 2 swords, looking for swords, and rolls 2 dice. Does 1 damage. And when she is inspired, both of her dice rolls for wounds increase by 1, and her movement increases by 1 to 5. Okay, Olor has a hunting bow. He moves 4 with 1 dodge. He has a range of 3, rolls 2 dice, looking for swords, and does 1 damage. And when he's inspired, he gets an extra dodge, and he rolls an extra dice for damage. That's awesome. Okay, Shond Headclaimer. Wow. Movement of 4 with 1 dodge, and he's got a range of 1, rolls 2 dice looking for swords, and does 2 damage. And when he's upgraded, his movement and dodge remain the same. His range doesn't say, but he rolls an extra attack dice. And finally, Thedra Skullscryer. Movement of 4 with 1 dodge, and she deals 2 damage with a range of 1, rolling 2 dice. And when she's upgraded, her movement and dodge remain the same. However, she does 1 extra damage. Ambitious and utterly ruthless, the war shaman Thedra Skullscryer plots to lead the tribe of the Black Fang. Okay, so that's it. Thanks very much for watching. I'm looking forward to playing with both of these guys. So like I say, if anyone wants to see any playthroughs or that, let me know and I'll put one together. See you later.